Here are 10 reasons why highly intelligent people prefer to be alone. Number 10. They actually like themselves. For a lot of people, being alone feels like punishment, silence, boredom, maybe even loneliness. But for highly intelligent people, solitude is the preferred environment. They genuinely enjoy their own company. Hanging out with their thoughts, diving into an idea, or just letting their brain wander feels more rewarding than forcing small talk with people who don't really get them. It's not about disliking others, it's about valuing the quality of interaction over the quantity. To them, an evening alone with a book, a project, or even just their own imagination isn't empty, it's full. They'd rather recharge in solitude than drain themselves in shallow company. For intelligent people, alone doesn't mean lonely. It means freedom. Number 9. They struggle with authority and groupthink. Highly intelligent people don't do well with because that's how it's always been. Their brains crave logic, reason, and independence, not blind obedience. That's why being around authority figures or groups that demand conformity can feel suffocating. Groupthink runs on unspoken rules, traditions, and peer pressure. But intelligent people can't help poking holes in all of it. They see flaws in the logic, contradictions in the system, and they'd rather follow their own reasoning than the hive mind. The problem is, speaking up makes you difficult, while staying silent feels like betrayal of your own brain. So instead of forcing themselves into groups where questioning isn't welcome, they often choose solitude. Alone, they don't have to shrink their thoughts or play along with ideas that don't make sense. Number 8. They're hypersensitive to social dynamics. Being in a group isn't just hanging out, it's running a non-stop data stream. Every tone shift, every side glance, every pause in a sentence gets picked up and analyzed. They're not just hearing words, they're processing body language, context, and subtext all at once. It's not shyness, it's data overload. While others can relax into the flow of conversation, their brain is busy decoding motives, hidden tensions, and unspoken dynamics. That kind of hyper-awareness can be useful. It makes them insightful and empathetic. But it's also exhausting. Social settings that seem effortless to most people feel like mental marathons to them. So, when given the choice, solitude wins. Alone, the noise turns off, the analysis slows down, and their brain finally gets to rest. Number 7. They dislike surface-level relationships. For highly intelligent people, relationships aren't about numbers. They're about depth. They don't collect friends just to look social, and they don't have the patience for connections built on gossip or shallow small talk. If it isn't authentic, it feels like a waste of energy. That's why they'd rather sit alone on a Friday night than force themselves into company that doesn't resonate. To them, solitude is better than pretending. When they do find people who match their wavelength, the bond is strong, real, and lasting. But until then, they'll wait it out. Not because they can't connect, but because they refuse to settle for surface level. For them, quality always beats quantity. Number 6. They find stimulation in solitary activities. Excitement doesn't always come from parties or group hangouts. Their spark often comes from solitary pursuits: chess, coding, writing, reading, sketching ideas, or just disappearing into a daydream. These activities give their brain the challenge and stimulation it craves without the noise and distraction of a crowd. While others need constant social interaction to feel alive, intelligent people can get the same, or greater, satisfaction from diving deep into a project or creative flow. Solitude isn't empty to them. It's packed with exploration, learning, and imagination. That's why being alone doesn't feel like missing out. It feels like plugging directly into what lights them up. Number 5. They struggle with forced social norms. A lot of everyday social rituals feel like bad theater. Fake laughter, polite lies, performative empathy, they see straight through it, and it drains them. Where others can slip into these roles without thinking, their brain is busy questioning the point. Why are we pretending this joke is funny? Why are we acting like we care when no one actually does? It's not arrogance, it's fatigue from navigating interactions that feel hollow or scripted. The constant pressure to play along leaves them restless and disconnected. That's why solitude often feels easier. No masks, no rituals, no wasted energy, just honesty. For them, authenticity is refreshing, and anything less feels exhausting. Number 4. They value their time like currency. Every hour has weight, and they'd rather invest it in reading, creating, problem-solving, or chasing an idea than burning it on awkward group chats or long dinners filled with small talk. To them, wasted time feels like theft. because their brain is always aware of what else they could be doing. That's why they guard their schedules so tightly and often choose solitude. Alone time isn't isolation. It's how they spend their currency wisely. While others might see it as antisocial, intelligent people see it as simple economics. Why pay with hours of your life for interactions that give nothing back? Number 3, they don't need validation from others. For highly intelligent people, identity isn't something that has to be constantly confirmed by the outside world. They don't need a flood of likes, endless compliments, or constant reassurance to feel secure in who they are. Their sense of self is built internally, not handed to them by others. That's why solitude doesn't scare them. It reinforces their independence. They're not alone because they're lonely. They're alone because they're self-sufficient. While many chase validation to feel real, intelligent people already have that anchor inside. Time alone doesn't make them question their worth. It makes them double down on it. Number 2, they get drained, not energized by most people. Socializing is rarely a battery charger. It's a battery drain. Even when they genuinely like the people around them, conversations, group dynamics, and constant interaction leave them feeling depleted instead of energized. Their brain processes so much tone, context, subtext, emotions that every exchange becomes a heavy lift. It's not that they're antisocial, it's that recovery requires solitude. Alone time is where they recharge, reset, and regain clarity. Without it, they risk burnout. So while others may thrive on constant company, highly intelligent people prefer distance, not because they dislike people, but because they need space to breathe after them. Before we get to the last one, I want to hear from you. Which of these reasons do you relate to the most, and which ones should be added for the other lone wolves out there? Drop it in the comments, hit subscribe if you haven't yet. And now, let's finish with number 1. They're brutally honest. Sugarcoating feels like lying. If they see a flaw in the plan, a gap in the logic, or a truth no one else wants to say out loud, it's hard for them to hold it back. But in social settings, brutal honesty can land like a grenade. What they see as clarity, others hear as rudeness. That mismatch leaves them stuck, bite their tongue and feel fake, or speak up and risk alienating people. Alone, though, the filter comes off. They can think freely, explore ideas without softening the edges, and be unapologetically direct. It's not that they want to offend, it's that honesty feels more natural than diplomacy. Solitude lets them keep that bluntness without collateral damage. Bonus round. They have dark curiosity. Most people like to keep conversations light. Work, weather, weekend plans. But highly intelligent people often wander into territory that makes others squirm. Morality, death, the meaning of suffering, or even the darker instincts of human nature. These aren't casual dinner table topics, but for them, they're fascinating puzzles. They want to know why people lie, why societies collapse, or what really happens after we're gone. The problem? Sharing those thoughts out loud usually gets them labeled as weird, cold, or unsettling. So instead, they retreat into solitude, where they can dive into those questions without scaring anyone off. Alone, their mind has the freedom to explore the shadows. And to them, that's not frightening. It's irresistible.